Welcome back to Talking to Teachers, presented by the CBA Digital Network. My name is Nicholas Ferrari, and for my last official episode ever, what better person to have than our principal, Mr. Begley. Pleasure to have you.
Pleasure to be here, Nick.
Awesome. And I always like to start off asking, what was your origin story at CBA? How'd you start here?
Sure. So my journey at Christian Brothers Academy began long before I became the principal. Along with my two brothers, I'm a proud alumnus of CBA. After CBA, I graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point and was commissioned a field artillery officer in the Army. After my time in the military, I came back here to New Jersey and became a math and physics teacher here at CBA. Seemed like a good fit. CBA was instrumental in helping me form both personally and professionally. And during my time in the military, I was asked to call upon my experience and my knowledge of math and physics, especially as a field artillery officer. So I came back here as a teacher. During my time as a teacher, I was blessed to participate in a Lasallian formation experience. At that time, it was called the Lasallian Leadership Institute. And over 3 years, we were introduced to the mission of Christian Brothers, and I really felt that became inculcated on my heart, and I said that this is what I want to do with my life. And so I felt that I wanted to take on more of a leadership role in the school, and so I went back, got my master's from Seton Hall in educational leadership. And then right around that same time, an opportunity developed and opened up as the vice principal down the street at St. Leo the Great School.
Oh, okay.
And while I had said that I felt Christian Brothers Academy was the place that I was called to be, wanting to take on more of a leadership role in a Christian Brothers school, in a Lasallian school, St. Leo the Great was the closest I could get to. And St. Leo's sends a lot of their boys to Christian Brothers Academy, so I felt that it was a great opportunity to continue the mission of developing young boys into men, just a little younger.
Yeah.
So I went down and became the vice principal, and then became the principal at St. Leo's. Was there for 10 years. And then an opportunity presented itself to come back here as the principal at CBA. And so couldn't imagine it a more amazing opportunity to come back here.
Yeah.
And so that brought me back this way.
That sounds awesome. And you've been here since, I believe, my sophomore year. So this is your third?
This is my third year as principal.
Yeah, so my sophomore year. Yeah, and how was that transition, obviously being like what was it in the Army that you were?
I was a field artillery officer.
How was that transition from that going back to teaching and then taking a leadership role within?
So some may argue, but I would say that West Point is the premier leadership institute in the world.
It's amazing school.
So coming back here, I think was a little more awkward simply because some of the people that I was working with that were now my colleagues were my teachers.
Yeah.
And knowing that they had played such an instrumental part in the formation of my life, that was a little awkward. It went from calling somebody Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. to trying to say, hey, this is my first name.
Yeah.
Coach Wiz, who was my basketball coach while I was here, continues to play an instrumental part of my life. I mean, I wasn't going to call the man Ed, so I think that was a little awkward. But how was it coming back? It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great to have a key role in helping form the next generation of leaders. And again, that's what I was doing in the military, and to be able to come back here and do that at the place that had helped form me into who I was, it was just an incredible privilege and opportunity.
And you only continue to do that, so it's exciting. And then as a principal, how would you say that's rewarding, just as a whole?
As the principal, you have a unique opportunity and responsibility to help shape the direction that the school is going to be going into. And so it's very rewarding to be able to try to figure out what the next component is. What is the vision of the school? We have been here for 65 years, and we have been entrusted with the mission of a Lasallian school by the Christian Brothers. And so it's an awesome responsibility, but yeah, it's very, very rewarding. I get to work with young people like you all the time. I get to see what the next generation is looking like, and I get to play a small part in helping form the next generation of leaders and people that are going to help really be prepared for jobs that we don't even know what they are yet. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, we really do have a lot of amazing people that come out of CBA. I think CBA in Monmouth County, New Jersey, I'd say in America, we have like just so many natural born leaders going in. We send them out into college and in the workforce. I think it's amazing what CBA does and how much it's transformed me personally too. From my freshman year to now, it's just amazing. So
It's awesome.
yeah. And going a little off topic, going more, what do you do outside of school? Like some hobbies, certain things outside of being principal, field artillery officer. What do you do outside of school?
I mean, sometimes it's a lot of long hours here, but outside of here, I'm very blessed to have a beautiful family. I have a wife and 2 kids. If you've ever been to an event here, especially a sporting event, you probably see my kids running around here.
I have.
So, it's great to see that they have embraced not only my role here, but also embraced the school themselves. Many times I'll come home if my son hasn't been able to attend the athletic event, he'll come running up to me and say, "Hey, how did we do today?" It's not even, "Hey, how did CBA do?" It's like, "How did we do?" Mm-hmm. He's 8. So he feels that he's part of the team and part of the activities. And so it's been great to have them embrace the school, but also be embraced by the school.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times just being a husband and being a dad. Hobbies, when I was in the military, at some point I was stationed at Schofield Barracks in Hawaii.
Wow.
And fell in love with the water and became a scuba diving instructor. So that has been a big part of my life for the past 25 years.
Wow.
So, one, with the military, but 2, my wife and I have been very blessed to travel all over the world. And so scuba diving is an awesome activity, and you get to see things that you've never thought were possible. And so part of that experience, though, I think, is the responsibility of passing that on to the next group, to the next generation. So became a scuba diving instructor, and then also became a handicapped scuba diving instructor.
That's awesome.
And so for the past 15 years, worked with organizations like the Wounded Warrior Project, trying to teach wounded veterans on how to scuba dive, and the benefits of being in the water. And so that's probably my major activity outside of school.
That's awesome. That's like, so I don't think I've ever heard of that. Just so many different aspects for you, being principal, field artillery officer, scuba diving instructor. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I tried scuba diving once. Wasn't my biggest. The goggles they gave me were like really big and went like over my nose. I think I did in like the Dominican Republic. But
awesome.
What types of places have you gone scuba diving, since you said you travel all over?
Other than Alaska and Antarctica, I've been everywhere other than those.
Okay.
So yeah, we've been all over the place.
That's awesome. And then off of the scuba diving, going back to CBA, although you've been here for obviously you've been here as a student and a teacher, but over your culmination of your career at CBA, what would you say has been your favorite memory? I know it's a tough question.
All right, so I would say that one of my most recent favorite memories, we have awesome sports here. We have awesome theater. We have awesome clubs and activities. One activity that we have here now that was not here when I was a student is the Pipes and Drums Band. And so last year I had the honor of marching with the Pipes and Drums Band in the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I walked with them holding the banner as they paraded and, played in the parade. So that was a great honor to represent the school and be there with them. This year, though, under the tutelage of Brother Frank and everybody else, they asked me to be part of the band. And so for the past year, I've been trying to learn the pipes and drums. And so this year, I was actually able to march with them in the St. Patrick's Day Parade, but not only as the principal, but as a member of the band. And so that was a really, really cool experience. 1, to learn how to play the pipes and drums, but then 2, to be marching with them as a group and to really be embraced by the guys again. It was cool to be part of that team in an experience that wasn't here when I was a student here.
Yeah, it's just like it's like you're a student again, learning.
Yeah, I
as
wish.
A part of that. And did you get to do it for the senior pipe out too? Were you?
I did.
Oh my
I
God,
did.
that's awesome. That must have been so cool.
So yes, again, a tradition that we didn't have when I was a student here,
Yeah.
but it is now a time-honored tradition. And if you haven't seen the senior pipe out, or until you've been able to experience it, it's a really cool tradition.
Yeah, and I experienced it on Friday, so it was just magical. Like, I just think that's like the perfect ending for CBA getting, piped out by the Pipes and Drums band was just amazing. You have the entire senior class come together, and then they're still playing, and you run down the center. All your parents are on the side. It's really like undescribable, and I'd say you have to experience it. And for all the upcoming students who are still within their years at CBA, still waiting to graduate, it's amazing experience. It's just, and I'm sure for you playing must have been crazy too. Just hearing the commotion behind.
Definitely a different perspective.
Oh yeah, 100%. But still, I feel like that would also be awesome. And you're walking down, you see all the parents, everyone, so many emotions going on too.
Well, again, depending on who you are and what your perspective is, yes. I mean, to see all the parents there, seeing their children to now becoming young men. For us here, I've known some of you now for 3 years. In my role as principal at St. Leo's, I've known some of these people for 13 years. And so really for the senior pipe out, when you sit back and if you can pause, it's a very enthusiastic and exciting day. You guys are all excited about it, and then it's a monster event. But when you do have a moment to sit back and pause and see the growth and see how much people have changed and how much they've grown into the person that I'm now looking at here, it's awesome to think about.
Yeah.
And we wish you all nothing but the best, man. I can't wait to see all the great things you do.
Yeah. And then segueing to our last question, given that our senior class we're graduating in the next couple of weeks, what advice do you have for us? All seniors who are going off to college or going into the workforce. What advice do you have for us in our upcoming year and beyond?
I would suggest and encourage and ask that you never stop striving for excellence. Be excellent in everything that you do. But at the same time, don't ever lose sight that the journey is more important than the destination. And I think that whatever it is, when you're trying to be the best and trying to do great things in everything that you do, don't ever forget that there's a lot of people that are there to support you, that have helped you get to the spot that you're at. And don't ever not take a moment to help somebody else along the way. So my advice would be to be excellent in everything that you do. Strive for excellence. Don't ever forget, though, that it's more important of the person that you're becoming, and it's more important on that process and helping others than getting to where you're trying to get to.
100%. I think that's something, when I've gotten the chance to speak at CBA, preach that, and recently at my wrestling banquet, I got to speak to all the underclassmen, and I told them that it's not about the final destination, but it's about the lessons you learned along the way. And not only within wrestling, but just within my career at CBA and just life in general, I've learned so much, not only in school, but just from past failures too. You learn so much from that, and you allow that to fuel you as you take on future tasks. So yeah, I could not agree more with that. I just think that's perfect advice for seniors.
Awesome. If you feel that way, then we're obviously doing something right.
Yeah. No, CBA is doing a lot right. You guys are doing more than enough right for us, and I'm so happy that I was a part of CBA for these past 4 years. So happy to be doing this podcast, got the opportunity to do this. And this is my last official podcast. I'm happy to be doing it with you. Amazing interview. But yeah, it's going to be my last one officially. It's a lot of emotions, being I've done this for the past 3 years, but honestly, it was a pleasure to have you today. Finally happy we were able to get you on for this one.
We're very proud of you, Nick. Very proud of everything you've done.
Thank you.
The legacy you're leaving
Thank you.
behind, and we look forward to all the great things you're going to do for us in the future, man. Best
Thank
of
you
luck.
so much. Thank you, Mr. Begley. Well, for the last and final time, this is us, CBA Digital Network, Nicholas Ferrari, signing off. Thank you.